Hey YouTube, how's it going? I'm back and I wanted to do another 6 scale action figure review today of the figure that you see before you. Now, as a lot of you know, I have really been building up a pretty neat 6 scale samurai collection, and my want for doing that was inspired by the Ghost of Tsushima video game. Now, um, if you've played that game, you might recognize who this is, or at least a close approximation of this type of soldier. This is the PopToys Jurchen Warrior. Now, I knew this was going to be a quality figure before getting it in because it is PopToys. And I just looked at their Nathan Algren from The Last Samurai, of course, unlicensed, so they called it the Devoted Samurai action figure, and I was blown away at how good of a figure that was, especially in comparison to the higher price and higher end Coup model action figures that I've been getting. I guess prices between PopToys Samurai and Coup model Samurai are pretty close, but the fact that the quality was on par, I was pretty shocked. So I knew this was going to be a cool figure before getting it in, and now it's in, and I'm not at all disappointed. So this is the Churchian Warrior. Now, the Jurchen were famed warriors, powerful horse-mounted combatants, until they were ultimately defeated by the Mongols, and some of their warriors and peoples and armies were assimilated into the Mongol Empire, which is why you see them attacking Tsushima in the Ghost of Tsushima video game. So let's jump into this guy. Now, the first thing to note, and something that I wasn't really sure of before opening it, was, is all of this real die-cast metal on the figure? Well, no, it is not. It is a soft, rubbery type of plastic, which works out just fine for me. If this were all die-cast metal, this guy would have been far more expensive than he was, and he also would have been a lot heavier. It would have been really cool, but we didn't get it, so I'm not worried about it. And I also feel like I just got this guy for a steal of a deal. There's two versions of him out right now. One is Deluxe, one is regular. This is the regular. The Deluxe came with an alternative head and a falcon that you can mount on his right arm. It comes with a special hand to mount the falcon on. That said, I didn't care too much for an alternative head. I thought the yelling head looked a little bit cartoony in the pictures. And the falcon, I was never going to display this guy with the falcon, so I went for the regular edition and got it for about $50, cheaper than the exclusive. So that is a good deal. Now, as I said, all of these armor pieces are a softer rubber, and is that? So it looks like real string going through all the little plates there either way, but it is actually just a part of the rubber sculpt. So they've captured some great detail in there. Let's get close in. Great detail in there, because from my eye, I couldn't even tell if that was real string going through all the plates or not. But it isn't. Cool. So all the accessories, I'm happy to say though, are die-cast metal. These guys, PopToys uses the proprietary Coup model body, so I love the Coup model bodies. They work very well. The spear is huge. I had to do some creative posing just to get it to fit in my display case, or my light box here. But now I'm going to take it out. See if we can get a zoom on there real quick. Real cool looking spear. Real bit of feathering right here. Cool point. And it's not too heavy. This is die cast on the top, but the spear haft itself is plastic with another die cast bit on the bottom there. So that's his spear. Now we're going to take this out. He comes with his cool little Mongolian sword there, which fits into his hand just fine. So if you want to display him with his sword or his spear, you absolutely can. The only other thing that came in the deluxe version that I kind of wish I would have gotten, but I'm sure I could find it parted out, was a little stand to put this spear into. So I could display him with a sword and still have this spear prominent in display with this guy. But I didn't get the deluxe, so I'm not going to worry about it. Maybe I'll find one of those parted out, though. Articulation is great. You know, he comes with this intricate outfit, but nothing's really hindered too much. Even the legs can come up, bend, nice ankle motion. So really nothing to worry about there. The only other accessories he comes with is this little water bottle, which I hooked up to the belt already. Just a little slip knot here. So I could take it off. I don't really want to. This looks really nice. It's got a little jewel on there. So it's quality craftsmanship. It feels like just some type of felt. I'm not sure. But the lid also can come out. Here, let me mount the camera again real quick. There we go. The stopper can also come off. So if you wanted to actually display him drinking out of it, I guess you could. But it's really not anything I'm going to worry about. It just looks cool there hanging off his belt. And that's good enough for me. One moment here real quick, because there is one more accessory. I just left it over there. Okay, got it. He also comes with this big, badass die-cast mace. This thing is heavy. I have no intention of actually displaying the figure with it, because I do think it'll actually start to weigh on the joints. It's got a lot of heft, but just the same, it's a really cool looking mace with all these little spikes coming out of it. You could really see how a warrior would use something like this to bash in an opponent who is wearing full armor and do some real damage to them. Real quick, let's go up here and look at the helmet. Nothing on the inside of the helmet. It's just a full rubber sculpted piece. They did get a lot of nice details in there, and the top here feels like a real feather, essentially. So it's a real craft feather that they just stuck in the top there, and looks good. Looks good to me. This can just pop on here, rest on top of the head, and it looks good. One thing to note is it's not a very tight fit on the head, so if I move the helmet, the head does not always go along with it. So if you want to move them together, squeeze the head, force it to look in the same direction that you want the armor to look, or just pose them how you want it, then throw the helmet on top. That's kind of what I have been planning on doing. We already went over articulation and how everything is well and good with that. So I'm going to pick up the camera here and go in for a closer look at what makes up his outfit. So he's got this real leather belt here, and this does not feel like a material that's going to be flaking anytime soon. I'm really happy to say that. These gauntlets here are a rubber piece with some real string wrapped around. The string on this one has already started to come loose, so I may have to retie that. Not a big deal. I thought this looked really cool. The sort of tiger skin going through the middle there. This guy looks pretty regal, pretty royale. He's probably a higher up in the army, probably commanding men. I don't know. I read that they could rally some 300,000 troops, 150,000 on horseback. So as these guys were primarily horseback warriors, I doubt every single one of the 150,000 would look quite this good or be armed quite this well. But I could be wrong. But I assume that some of the ritzier pieces of this outfit are because he was a commander of some sort. Going down here, he's got those pointy little shoes. I'm not sure why their shoes point up in the front there. I'm sure it's a quick Google search away for that information. But it's not a Google search that I've done yet. And this is all fabric. So as I showed, there's really no hindrance to ankle articulation either. I've already posted some pictures of this guy up on my Instagram at Big Nerdy's Toy Box. So if you want to see some of the shots that I've done inspired by Ghost of Tsushima, you absolutely can. It's mostly this guy getting killed by whatever samurai I choose to display him with. But either way, if you're just an aficionado of Chinese or Mongolian or Jurchen history, this is a really cool and well done figure. Paint apps are crisp and clean. Eyes are nice and shiny and glossy. Do I have any faults? I guess maybe if the helmet just fit on him a little bit better. But they are very unique styles of helmets, so I can't fault them too much for going the direction that they did. It's a cool figure. PopToys Churchian Warrior. I forget exactly what it's called, but if you typed in PopToys Jurchen 1/6, you would find it, and you'll find some available still. Very cool figure. Like I said, there's a deluxe out there. There's also a horse out there in very similar looking armor that you can get. I opted not to because I'm not going to display this guy on a horse. But if you're after the historical component, these guys were horse-mounted warriors. So I'm sure that horse and this guy would look awesome on display together. That's going to wrap this up, you guys. If you have any questions, sound off in the comments. Otherwise, stay happy, stay healthy, and keep on collecting. Bye-bye.